Morning, everyone. Welcome to Coxygen Global. My name is Redoshina, and I'm with Gilon and Xavier. Today is 4th of 4th of February 2025, and we're gonna be discussing how we're going to do the assets register app. Yeah, so we can start. Dylan, can show us what you were saying.
Okay, in terms of the user interface, you can use Figma. I don't know if I still have the application, but then I know I have an account with Figma. All right, just okay. Figma. But it seems like this person wants like a full app. Did Mr. Spanda say you should pay a website? But then he said it's an app, an Android application. Okay. Because I once used it in 2023, the time when I was doing my date the year, when I was doing my project, when you're doing projects, 2023, we used it to design like interfaces and stuff. So, okay, let me just share.
I've muted and I was talking. I was saying, I think yesterday he said he was talking about Android, like Android app, yeah. And also he said he's not familiar to Android. So he was also talking about something like web, like a website. I don't know if I heard him correctly or.
Yeah, he did mention the website. Okay, yes, I remember now. With Android, if it's an Android app, we can use Android Studio. Um, Yeah, but in that one it will take some time if you're not familiar with it. It's just that I happened to do a module which was regarding app development. So I picked up like how to create apps with it. Let me try and
Okay.
because I have the app and it's also available on the web. Um, I think it was way better to open the web version. You just hold on. Yeah, here's it. That's stigma. It's for like UI designs. You can create the wireframe, like you mentioned. Uh, example. Mm, mm. Doing some projects here. I've been used taking some time. So, yes, yes. Okay, that's fine. Uh, oh, yeah.
Is it possible for us to create a website and then after that we transfer it to Android app? Is it possible?
Um, I've heard you can do that. I've heard of that. Yes. Uh, Honestly, also depends on the features of the app. Yeah, we can do that. You can do that actually. Yeah. A mobile responsive app, our website. We can do that. Excuse me, it's just that I've been used taking some time to figure. I'm trying to figure out exactly how we used to do that.
Okay.
For example, it should be possible. It depends on the open your internet. Okay, since I can actually need to open the app, right? Okay. Oh yes.
Morning, Christina.
Morning, Rido.
Hi, how are you?
You say?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm actually good. I was just like busy this whole week, so yeah, no complaints.
Okay.
I hope you're all doing well too.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see if I'm able to. Okay, it needs me to update the app, but yeah, we can use Figma for the UI design. And then you also mentioned that it also mentioned, let me just look at that. Yeah, it's taking a lot of crap. Top crap. Yeah. Yeah, he also mentioned okay, yeah, we can use this one for designing the UI. And then he mentioned what was it? Um
You said, oh, what's the name of this app?
Figma. Figma. Um, You can search on YouTube exactly how to start projects and everything. I just forgot like exactly how to do it. But yeah, there's an app also that you would need to download to your laptop in order to like create designs. Yeah. And also I heard that you can translate it to code. I'm not sure if it's true, but yeah, I've heard that. Was you could yeah, you mentioned something about wireframe, if I'm not mistaken. Mm. Yes, yes.
Does it also give the source code?
Um, last time it did give us like the source code of the design, but I'm not really sure why we didn't use it though. But I think it does, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I think it does. Just
Okay.
UI design, no backend or anything, but just like the UI design. I think it does.
Mm,
Yeah. Unless maybe it's
okay.
like the paid versions of, you know how this apps maybe something you do it when it's paid. You don't need to do it if you pay for the full version. But yeah, this one, yeah, it's useful for user user design or user interface. You also mentioned like the database design. Okay, let me just check. Yeah, and then the design of the database schema. Um, how many how many of you are familiar with like creating database schemas?
Familiar with doing what?
To create database schemas.
To create database what?
A database schema.
Uh,
Um, something like this. I remember I did this. Was it in my second year though? A long time ago. So, database schema.
yeah, I think I can. If you're talking about this, I can.
Yeah,
Like,
this is the
you're talking about that thing like when you say name as a varchar or string, whatever, ne?
yeah.
Number integer. Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Using SQL. My SQL.
Is but then have you ever like created a schema, this like a diagram like this that shows like a visualization,
No,
isn't it? Because okay.
diagram.
Alright. There's a website that you can do this for.
Hi, Daniela. How are you?
Hi, Rido. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. What are we discussing about today?
About the asset register system.
Two.
The asset register system. What Sarah was talking about yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are some of the designs of like database schemas. You would need to like, okay, it's what draw UI does. Like you can create these schemas, the blueprint there. So blueprint or an architecture of how our data will look like. Yeah. You can create it here at this website. So like create new diagram, open existing diagram. Let me check if I do have an existing one. Just be patient with me. Just like to check if we do have one in my laptop. Okay, database schema. Do I have it? Mm, okay, let me just create your diagram here. They'll ask you to what diagram I try to create. Do you want to export it as an image or what? If you want your flowchart, do you want the UML diagram, the Venn diagrams, um, ERD diagram. Just create. Mm, okay. Yeah, without this. It's easy to use. Yeah, you can share with people, save to Google Docs. Yeah. Assessment entity list, professor, student can of this. Yeah. Let me just log it. Yeah. So that you guys can just go take a look on it. The cloud thing. But obviously, um, okay. Yeah, obviously this will be dependent on our requirements first. I think first we need to gather the requirements. I don't know about you guys. Uh, if you have any idea exactly how to implement this, how we can start with this project. Because out of those requirements, would need to uh, how is it again? Uh, just yeah, we need user requirements and specifications. Okay, our client web app, alright. So it's going to be a web app. Um, yeah, I would start with the user requirements first. Exactly what's needed for the web app. Um, Okay, I know some of you guys were doing third year last year with the projects. Did you guys ever, during your documentation, did you ever include user requirements and okay, user requirements and specifications in use cases?
Repeat.
I'm saying like last year, some of you guys were doing your projects, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying when you're creating the documentation, uh, did you guys ever do any user requirement specifications? Did you ever create like discuss any of those stuff? Exactly what's needed for the app, depending on the features of the application. Let me just look at the student. Where is it? Uh, yes, that's a range of the document right now. I can't find it. Uh, yeah, we'd first need to discuss the user requirements, depending, yeah, the user requirements. Um, it's a range of the document. So, okay, you guys, depending on, okay, from what you see and from your understanding of, what do you understand about the application? What do you guys understand about the application, the asset register system? Hello, can you hear me? Mm.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Right, let me just do this. So from that list that Mr. Smanda sent, right, I believe we need to start with the user requirements first before we can start coding or anything like that. Um,
Okay, we need to start with the user requirements.
is the user requirement
Alright.
is is okay. Does everyone understand what the user requirements are? Um,
I don't know if others are still connected.
yeah, if you can't speak, I think you can just use the chat.
Yeah, I'm still connected, guys.
Okay.
Yes, same here. I'm still connected.
All right. Um, I'm here. Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, is everyone familiar with the requirement when they speak about the user requirements or requirement gathering? I'm guessing everyone understands. Okay, it's basically user requirements are just these ones. These are the user requirements. Because there's no way in which you can create an application without knowing exactly what's needed. Sort of like functional requirements of the application of the system. For example, asset management, asset capture, ability to add assets, laptops, vehicles, etc. with fields for asset type, value, purchase price, depreciation, and days in use. And then here there's asset tracking, maintaining a history of asset usage, repairs or maintenance. Those are just the user requirements, exactly what's needed for the application. Depreciation tracking, automatically calculate depreciation based on the asset type and usage duration. Maintenance record, log repairs, maintenance, including cost, frequency, and whether it's more economical or repair or replace, or economical to repair or replace. Okay, misuse monitoring, capturing incidents of asset misuse, and generate alerts for management. Uh, License and compliance management. Track license disk. Uh, okay, this is more of monitoring, expiring dates, and generate alerts 30 days prior to expiry. Documentation. Document expectations before or after asset usage, especially for vehicles. Okay, seems like most of it's more of like capturing, from my understanding. Then there's the financial analysis, generate financial reports comparing the cost of keeping assets versus purchasing new ones. Track tender performance and associated financial implications, identify non-performing tenders. Check tender performance and associated financial implications on it. Does anyone understand this part? Number 6. This part. This. Real-time reporting, providing dashboard dashboards for real-time data visualization on asset performance, maintenance, and overall asset health. Okay. Categorization and filtering. Organize assets by categorizing vehicles. Categorizing and filtering. Organize assets by category, vehicles, equipment, etc., and allowing filtering by various matrices, performance and cost. Key user management, role-based control, access control to ensure that sensitive information is only accessible to authorized personnel. Alerts and notifications, set up notifications for key events, upcoming licenses, maintenance job. Okay, this is more of capturing. Looks like the idea that Say gave us right now. It's more of capturing the data. Okay, so I'm guessing we should just divide this, or should we create separate user documentation, user requirement documents? Does anyone have any suggestions regarding that? Because that's the first step, the user requirements. Hello, is everyone still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Yeah, like you
Repeat the
participated.
question.
Yeah.
What was the
Okay.
question?
I'm saying, should we separate the should we do separate user requirements, or like the
Oh,
user requirement document? Should we yes okay. Should we do this separately, like individually does what they think is suitable for the asset register system?
you said or what?
I'm saying, should we do separate user requirement documentation, as in to find out exactly how management assets should be, how
Hmm.
depreciation tracking should be, just like a small document where you will go in details with each of those user requirements or functional requirements. Just go into detail, find out more exactly what you can add, what other features should be in the system, just from your understanding exactly what will be needed for that specific function. For example, let's say uh, financial analysis, right? It says generate financial reports, uh, comparing the cost of keeping assets versus purchasing new ones. Exactly what type of calculations will be needed? How can we calculate comparing cost of, like, some sort of like not mathematical, but accounting calculations? What type of calculations will be needed here for comparing, like, should we keep the assets versus purchasing new ones? What's the best viable option? And also, okay, another one here, number 7, right? Let's say you're doing number 7, okay, not doing number 7, real-time reporting, providing dashboard for the real-time data visualization on asset performance, maintenance cost, and overall asset health. Like, exactly how should we implement this specific function? What's the input and what's the output? Like, what how will it how will real-time reporting function? That's the document that I'm that's needed first. Like, that's what we can do first. So I'm asking, should we do it separately, as in, like, you get maybe you do each point and then you research on your own exactly how to implement, how to go into detail about asset management, depreciation tracking, or should you just divide this whole point? Maybe how many are we right now? We're like 5. Maybe each person does one. Maybe Daniela does this one, I do this one, Video does the other one. Like, how should we go about creating the user requirement documentation? Does anyone have an idea, or they're still trying to figure out exactly what this project is all about? Hello. Mm, Okay, so I'm assuming that everyone understands the user requirement documentation. Yeah, I think that's all I can say about that. Uh, Role-based access control. Mm, Besides the user requirements, did they specify any type of role-based access control? Like who will be using this app specifically? Is there like a management side? Like an admin side or a user side? Or it says role-based access control? Israel, how are you?
I'm good, man. Sorry for coming late. I lost track of time.
I just see you sleeping. Did you see the task that says Banda gave us?
Yeah, I saw the message in the group.
Okay, so basically, did you understand exactly what the task is?
No.
Okay.
Some type of asset management.
Yes. Yeah, like an asset management, asset register system.
So what is it supposed to do?
So basically, from how I understood the task that he was explaining to us is that you will need, okay, this is like a real application for a client, and it's an asset register system where the person wants to check their assets, their companies such as the vehicle, tires, equipment, some expiration dates, some maintenance dates.
So can I ask, are we the one who's gonna set like the expiration dates, and all those things? Because from what I'm seeing from this noted, it says automatically calculating the depreciation based on asset type and usage duration. I don't understand that. Is it? I know it's supposed to depreciate over time.
Yes. Okay, from what I'm understanding from that, right? I'm guessing once you create, for example,
An asset.
once you capture an asset, for example, maybe a car or something like that.
Mm.
So based maybe on the information and the type of asset, it should somewhat calculate how it depreciates over time, like how the value of it over time.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the expiring dates obviously are the one who's going to um e- capture it for sure. To enter the user will enter the licensing date and when is it going to expire. And then I think there's a part where it needs like you to alert the user. It will
Oh,
alert
that's
the user. Yeah,
maybe like a notification or something or some sort.
yeah, 30 days prior.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Okay.
so I was just saying that first we need the user documentation before we can move further. Because first we need to know exactly what each function. I guess they gave us a clue how to of the features of the app, like user requirements. Isn't it? You know what user requirements are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they're saying retail reporting, doesn't mean we also need a database.
Yeah, we need a database.
Do
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Are we using JavaScript and HTML? Because I don't think it will work here.
What do you mean it won't work here?
Okay, but I was thinking maybe we could try React, but JavaScript can also work.
Yeah, I think okay. Before you even go to the technologies, right? That part I'm not Sure. But then it did saying the following developers have been selected to work on this client web app. So it's
Okay.
a web application.
Yeah, it's a web application.
So I was saying before we even think of how we're going to program it, right? I think we need to produce like a document for the user requirements, because we might find out that there are certain functionalities that we might not be able to do.
Which
Because
makes
if you,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, because for example, alert and notification in real time, that needs Express.js or some other uh
Yeah, if you can get like their functionalities and then make a flow chart. I don't know if you understand of how maybe after we've gotten the requirements, the functionalities, we can then make a flow chart to see how the system is supposed to run as a
is how
whole.
the function
Yeah,
is.
and then I think yeah.
I was
Dylan,
discussing, yeah.
are we allowed to suggest languages we can use?
Yes, before, yes, we can. Just like what we're discussing right now, if you believe there's a certain language that's best for this, you can suggest. Because right now, because it's a web app, uh, we're thinking of JavaScript, PHP, Express.js, or it's still discussion, like we're still discussing right now.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe you have suggestions of what language to use.
I think React will work, but then and then if you want to use database, but then it depends on preference.
But
Depends
I
on the
think
preference.
PHP with the database is quite simple.
Yeah, yeah. If you use PHP, it will just be easier.
Okay, with the database, right? Like I say, after gathering the user requirements, the functional requirements, that's when we now design our
Database.
database scheme.
Yeah.
Exactly what you know. I think we're all
So this
familiar.
is
You
so this diagram.
Oh, this is from a website, Draw.io. This one.
Yeah. So I'm saying how explain the diagram. I came late. Sorry.
Oh, this okay. It just appeared when I created a
Oh,
new.
okay. I thought it was part of the thing you're doing. Okay, okay.
No, 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 it's not. It's just showing how this database is like. No,
Oh,
I think we're all familiar with it. I mean, it's not that hard. You can just revise it on your own. Because I think there are certain things which are also forgotten, which are way to revisit.
okay.
Right.
So I think what we okay. I don't know. So what did you guys end up discussing today? You talked about getting the requirements, but have you started figuring out the requirements?
I was talking to the rest of the people, though they were not responding. I was asking, should we do this individually to gather the requirements? As in, like each person does 1 up to 10 to find out exactly what's needed for each function. Is there other functions that you might think of that you might say, okay, I think we need this certain feature within the app. You need to have this data, this certain data for it to function. What's the output of that data? So, yeah, we're still discussing actually. I was still trying to figure out exactly how we can do the user requirement. Because that's the first part of it.
Okay, because what I'm seeing the okay. Some of the points 1 to 6, some of them are also like functions that have to be added.
Yeah, I mean, majority of it is they are functions.
The functions. It says generates a financial report comparing the costs of keeping assets versus purchasing new ones. If you can get an example of a system like this, it will make things very easy.
Uncertainty subscription style. There's something like this. Shoot.
Yeah, if we can get an example like this on how it looks or how they might have come about doing it, it becomes easy. So can I ask, is this asset that we are managing, like, are you minting it or something like that? Are you creating like an NFT, or it's just you upload pictures of your, I don't know.
Mr. Smander did say we would need to integrate it with the blockchain technology. Though, okay, yeah, he did mention something about integrating it with blockchain technology, such as for example, once you capture the details such as maintenance or the licensing, it goes to the blockchain. Something about that. Yeah, he did mention that. He did mention that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we also mentioned the user interface. But then that would be the design after the user requirements. Okay, are you familiar with Figma?
Yeah. I used to use Figma. It's been long since I even touched it.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
think I can use it anymore. I was very good at it. I don't know if I can touch it.
yeah, so I was suggesting maybe people do like we use Figma for the user interface.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know, like I know I've done this theoretical wireframes. Do you know what are they? Wireframes.
Wireframes are just when you create a sketch of your system. So you can just create them in form of boxes like that. Exactly like that. So you just align. For example, if you wanted a profile image on your website, you just have to put a circle at the corner on your left or your right corner, or you can put a square with X inside, like this one. 1, 2, 3. Do you see that? 1, 2, 3 up there. Yeah, there. You just put like X on the first one. If you want like there to be an image or a profile, so it's just like that. That's what a wireframe is. You're just creating your design, but not really. It just forms of lines, sketching, and all that.
Okay. I understand what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So usually what you do is that you create your wireframe on a piece of paper. It depends. You can create it on a piece of paper and then you can import it to your Figma and try to copy the design of your wireframe inside. Then when you're done with it, you can now start adding components into it.
okay.
So because we changed that was that same.
And I was thinking also, okay, after the user requirements, uh, I think for the UI, it's best to use. Okay, because we are using web, it's a web version, right? We use Bootstrap and CSS, CSS,
Want to use what?
Bootstrap and CSS.
Oh, okay.
And like
Really?
easier
Okay,
for that. Yeah.
Bootstrap, I don't know.
And it's simple on like way
Bootstrap.
easier.
I tried dabbling into Bootstrap, but hey, I don't know why I didn't like it.
It's way easier for creating interfaces,
It's not like a
especially
lot of things to memorize.
you don't need to memorize, honest with you.
Yeah, but I also tried. I see after Bootstrap, I tried Tailwind, and I found that it was almost the same thing. I was like, I gave up because they use the same. They use the same thing. You just in tags, you just use all these classes and all those things.
Yeah. I'm just suggesting that because it will need to be mobile responsive, remember.
Mm-hmm.
Such as like this. And I did use Bootstrap. I mean, because with AI and stuff, I think it's way better that way.
I think for now, let's just get the requirements, and then yeah, we'll work from there. Then if we get the requirements, we can try to design it and then create a flowchart, and then I think we can now then program.
Okay. So does anyone add on any other clarification? But you need like any other clarification that you need, any suggestions?
Nothing my side.
So in that case, we'll do it individually and then we'll come up with then next time when we meet, um, we will just see exactly what features did you come up with. Are there any additional features you thought of maybe they would help with the system? Yeah. And I think that's all that I can think of right now. Is there anything else? I mean, I did ask about else. So I'm guessing everyone understands exactly what the first
Hello?
Hello, yes.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Yeah, I was asking, or I was supposed to gather the requirements for all these 10, like the user requirements for all these 10.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And yeah, the requirements of all these 10. So I was saying, should we do individually those 10? Like each and every one of us, we do like those 10 points, and then tomorrow we we discuss exactly how
Yeah.
it goes, and then all right. Because this shouldn't take time. I think you can finish this today. I mean, yeah, it's just more of research, exactly.
Yeah, I think we can do it individually and then tomorrow we discuss.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't really get you correctly. Like what we are to bring regarding these 10 things. Do you mean like what is needed to? Is it to develop the? I saw you talking about the wireframes and all the rest. Like what exactly are you bringing?
I can't hear you clearly. You're saying what you need to do, the first step.
Yes. What do you say we should bring? Like you're saying that each person should bring some things. I don't really get that part.
Okay, I was just saying, right, the next time when we meet, right, each and every one of us should have like should should go in detail exactly how we can implement asset management. You get the user requirements of these 10 points, and also suggestions is in like, okay, for the financial analysis, I believe we need to implement it this way, or for the real-time tracking, I believe we need to do this and that. Like just a small document of how we can implement these 10 points, and if there are other features that you might think of to add on to this, what they gave us. That's what I'm sorry. We're not yet at the wireframe, at the design phase. We're not yet there here. We're still here, I'd say. The first step. The user requirements of the system.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Oh yeah. Is there anything else? And if you get some examples also, think just you can just send it to the group. If there's a video that you saw that you think might help us, please send it on the WhatsApp, on the WhatsApp group chat.
Okay.
I think that's all.
Yeah, is there anyone with a question? Okay. Let me stop recording and then yeah.